I want to thank everybody for coming out today. Particularly, I want to thank the 99% behind me who have been here since the beginning. And I want to thank my colleagues. We are here particularly concerned about the administration's recent ratcheting up of words and recent ratcheting up of harsh words in particular in discussing the protesters here at Zuccotti Park. And we're very concerned what that means when they begin to do a full court press, for lack of a better words, trying to demonize the people that are here. And all of a sudden, again, things that are happening in Zuccotti Park, or as they call it, Liberty Park, are heightened and seem to be the most important things in this city. And what concerns me is that we keep discussing certain things here except for the reason that they're here. So the mayor talks about everything else except the reasons that they're here. And as per a statement that was put out with the immediate local officials, who unfortunately couldn't be here with us today, they are still very supportive of the protesters here. I spoke to Julie Menon of Community Board 1 up until this morning. She and the Community Board are still very supportive of everyone who are here and says that there should be no force used in removing the protesters here. They are happy with the progress that the people at Liberty Park and the protesters have taken in terms of what were deemed nuisances. As you know, this morning there are new trucks with bathrooms that they can use. They've come a long way with the drumming and the noise that were a huge concern, which shows that they are willing and able to work on the problems that people have been bringing to them. What we want to say is we recognize now that if there is any force used to remove it, it is not because of the nuisances they claim. It is solely to squash the First Amendment rights of the protesters here. It is solely because they do not agree with what they're saying, and it is solely because it is too difficult for them to discuss and deal with the issues that they're talking about, and much easier for them to come in here and try to forcibly remove them. So there is absolutely no reason, as per the statement from Congressman Nadler, Senator Dan Squadron, Councilmember Margaret Chin, and from Julie Menon, who have said they are happy with the progress that is going on here, and they see no reason for any forceful evacuation. Let me make it clear, there hasn't been any specific date set, but we are concerned that the tone is beginning to change what is coming out of City Hall on the mayor's side. So we're here today to let the mayor know there's still a tremendous amount of support across the city, across elected officials, as you see here, across boroughs. Not only are we watching, the whole world is watching, and we still support the 99%. So I'm going to call all of my colleagues up to have a word. First, I'd like to call Senator Eric Adams.
Thank you. Thank you, Jumaane. First of all, the drum beats we're concerned about are not the drum beats from the park, but the drum beats that are coming from City Hall that are sounding like war drums against peaceful protesters, and we wanted to stop. I know the pattern. First you start to put provocateurs in the park to cause disruption. Then you have a few newspaper stories to set the tone. Then you come in and try to remove people based on the outcome. I spoke with Senator Dan Squadron last night. He stated, as Senator Squadron has stated, that he is comfortable with the progress that's being made, and he supports this. So to hear that a letter that was sent out merely to state that they have to come together and deal with some of the issues of importance was a tone that the electors in this area are not in support of the demonstration. That's incorrect and that's wrong. And so we as elected officials here, we believe that this protest, this form of voicing their concern should go on, and we're in support of that. Thank you.
Next, I'd like to call up actually one of the protesters who's been here from the beginning, Mr. Thorin Peace Caristo.
How's it going, guys? I'll be brief. I'm just really honored to have all these gentlemen here supporting our cause. And I want to follow up real quickly on what Jumaane said about First Amendment rights and the issue.
We can hear you.
And the issue with the First Amendment goes, and how the rhetoric is coming out of City Council and some of the media outlets here in New York City. Yes, we know we've taken a lot of negative press. Unfortunately, they're missing a lot of great stories. They're missing a lot of beautiful new relationships that are being developed by the group here with officials of the city, with officials across the United States and the world, and also the level that the movement is growing and the impact it's having. And the last thing I would say is the reason is pretty obvious. It's making a difference. We've crossed over the line. This voice is becoming a power for the people. This voice is becoming a power that will change the elections this fall. You can mark my words. These elections will be changed by the people finally having a voice, finally by a few individuals standing up, allowing this to happen, holding it down at Zuccotti Park, allowing the voice of American individuals and unique individuals across the world. We are ethnically diverse. We support peaceful resolutions across the boards. Again, I want to reiterate, the reason this rhetoric is coming out is simply because it's starting to make a serious difference and they're shaking in their boots. So thank you for being here, and let's continue to rise this voice and bring out the truth of the situation across America and the rest of this planet. Thank you.
Thank you. Right. Thank you. So we're going to try to move it along. So I'm going to actually call two people up at a time so we can get back to the protest. I want to call Senator Jose Gustavo Rivera and Senator Hakeem Jeffries.
I represent the 33rd District in the Northwest Bronx, and so you have an idea who I represent. The median income of my constituents is $25,000 a year. The unemployment rate of the folks that I represent is about 13%. The concerns of the people in the Northwest Bronx are the concerns of the 99%. And I am here to say that we are supportive of the efforts of the folks that are right behind us. Because 6 months ago, we were not having the conversations that we are having now. The conversations about who is responsible for the financial crisis that has caused the lives of the people of the Northwest Bronx as well as the whole United States to be in the situation they are right now. So we're here to clearly state that from here to Brooklyn, to the Queens, to the Bronx, we support the 99% and we support those protesters at Zuccotti Park. We want to make sure that their First Amendment rights are protected and that they can remain here so we can continue to have this conversation about how we change what's happening right now, and we hold responsible those who are responsible for the financial crisis that we find ourselves in. Thank you.
Right, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Senator Hakeem Jeffries. I represent the 57th Assembly District in Brooklyn, including parts of Crown Heights and Bedford-Stuyvesant. The First Amendment has been an important, robust part of the fabric of our democracy for more than 200 years. Its dictates are clear: freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom to assemble, freedom to petition your government. The constitutional fabric is clear and is squarely on the side of the protesters here at Zuccotti Park. And so we're not going to back down, and we're going to stand up to any effort to remove these individuals and to undermine the First Amendment. Some reactionary right-wing skeptics have suggested and presented the false question, why are people here? What are they upset about? I say, take your pick. The income inequality in this country is worse than since the Great Depression. We've got staggering unemployment. College graduates have been burdened with crushing debt, and the American dream is under extreme assault. We've got a police department rife with corruption that regularly stops and frisks hundreds of thousands of innocent New Yorkers. What are people upset about? Take your pick. The banks caused the reckless behavior of some, the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression. They then were bailed out with hundreds of billions of dollars of taxpayer money. They refused to circulate our money back into the economy. They're now thriving, and the American public is suffering. What are we upset about? Take your pick. The First Amendment is clear. It is on the side of these protesters, and if the Bloomberg administration persists with their aggressive move toward removing folks, we're not just going to support Occupy Wall Street, we're going to support Occupy City Hall and give them a crash course in the First Amendment.
Right. And no disrespect to my state colleagues, we saved the best for last. My city council colleagues, I'm also the co-chair of the Black, Latino, Asian caucus. the co-vice chair, of the Black Latino Asian Caucus, and with me is my co-vice chair, Melissa Mark Fabrito, and also my colleague, Adonis Rodriguez.
I want to thank our colleague, Councilmember Jumaane Williams, for bringing us together. I want to thank the protesters that are here expressing themselves, and we're here to demonstrate our solidarity as we have consistently, to say that what we have here happening in Zuccotti Park is very important to protect, and that's why we're all standing here. You know, I'm really concerned that we continue to focus on displacing potentially this protest and not on the issues that this protest is bringing about. We have in the state of New York alone, obviously this movement is inspiring movements all over this nation and even across this world. But let's not forget about what we have right here in New York State. We have the greatest income disparity in this country is in our state. We have a millionaire's tax that is about to expire, and this governor supports the expiration of this millionaire's tax, which in fact will be an incredible tax break for the wealthiest among us. We have a mayor that is undermining the educational system of our youth. Yesterday, they came out with a policy that is going to make it harder for people to seek shelter assistance if they're homeless. As Hakeem Jeffrey said, take your pick about what it is that we are here to represent. We are the 99%. We represent the 99%. My district is East Harlem. It's the Mott Haven section of the Bronx. It's Manhattan Valley. The average median income is very low. I have the most public housing in the city of New York is in my district. We are representing people that have been impacted by the corporate greed, by the 1%. And so we really want to thank Occupy Wall Street for what it has done to really move the discourse, to demand justice and equity for the majority in this country, and speaking out against the 1% that continues to dominate the discourse and dominate our government. We want our government back. That's what this is about.
All right, all right.
I just want to say that public square has been a centerpiece of the United States democracy since the beginning. Since the foundation of this country, public square has been used in the American Revolution, in the anti-slavery movement, in the anti-segregation movement, and now also on the movement calling for immigrant rights of this nation. And we are here to send a message loud and clear to Mayor Bloomberg that he only has 2 more years in his office. More than 50% of New Yorkers support the Occupy movement. And we occupy regardless if we are working class and middle class, because we believe that the wealthy should increase the level of contribution to the finance of the city. We should not go every year in a mid-year cut and balancing the budget, only cutting on the working class and the middle class New Yorkers on Wall Street. They've been doing much better in the last 3 years. And we are here to say, we support the freedom of speech. We support the First Amendment, and we will defend it. Mayor Bloomberg said that if people think that nothing is done about what's going on here, they're wrong. What we hope is that the NYPD is not increasing the level of undercover here, trying to provoke a situation and then blame on the leadership of this movement. Because this movement is not those groups who started the occupation on September 15th. This movement are the progressive elected officials, religious leaders, community activism, single mothers, people who live in the districts such as the one that we represent in Northern Manhattan, that we're walking on Monday, 11 miles, from 181st through El Barrio, through Harlem, through South Bronx and Brooklyn, coming here during the rush hour, showing the Black and Latino support also to this movement. Thank you.
Thank you. Last up, we have joined us Assemblyman Kareem Kamara, who is the chair of the Black Latino Asian Caucus in the state.
As it has been said so concisely and articulately by my colleagues, that this is about First Amendment right. This is about the right to have peaceful protests. This is about the historical precedent that's been set in our country, that citizens gather to voice their discontent about the state of our society. That's number one. Number two, this is forcing us to have a very necessary conversation about the state of our city, our state, and our national economy. Those people who are complaining the most, those people who are saying that we should not tax millionaires, are the same people who are for deregulation. And guess what? We deregulated. And we see what happened when we deregulated. The economy has been a mess. These people who are the 99% are many individuals who are indeed have been victimized by those same people who profited off of the deregulation. One of the major reasons why our economy is in a wreck is because of subprime mortgages that have been packaged and sold on an international level. So we're here, this is not about class warfare. This is about saying that the social gap now, social inequality gap that exists is bad for the rich just as bad for the poor. It is not good for our society. So we have to do something, and one of the measures to balance the budget is to increase the revenue. We've already tried cutting. We've cut enough. We can't cut anymore. The bone of the chicken has no more meat on it. We can't cut any more off of it. We have to say that in order to balance a budget, we have to find ways to increase revenue for those individuals who need important services. Lastly, the idea about the millionaires leaving, it's a myth, because they're not. When we imposed a tax 2 years ago, we in fact have more millionaires now. And many studies show that having migration within the state from one state to another is about 1.7%. And those people who do it because of housing differentials, because they don't have quality services, or because they need employment. So the millionaires are not leaving. The people that will leave if we don't find a way to balance this budget are the people that are leaving now. Working families, middle class, who are saying the cost of living in New York State is too much. So we're here to support Occupy Wall Street. We're here to support their right to protest. And we're here to say that they should be there until we have fair share in New York State.
Thank you. Thank you. And let me also say that people keep screaming and yelling that they have no message, there's no clear message. And I don't understand that. One, they've sparked the movement around the world, so they should be telling us how to do it. Two, the message is completely clear. There is economic injustice in this country. That has been ringing loud and clear since the beginning. And I say that because it's no coincidence. This call was put out about 24 hours ago, and I thank everyone who's here who took time out of their day to do this. As soon as they heard what it was about, everyone dropped what they were doing, but it's no coincidence that most of us who were here represent majority Black and Latino communities in this city. This for us is a continuation of the civil rights movement. It is a civil right. Economic injustice is one of the last bastions that we have to conquer. And although we've been dealing with a very long time, and only now is it people kind of paying attention, it's okay. I'm glad that they are. And it is a very important message, a message that we understand all too well. So we're just here to tell the mayor, please lay off the protesters. You should be down here discussing what the problems are and how we can fix it. There is so much time spent on figuring out sneaky ways and pretty much lying about what's happening and why you want to come in here to remove people. So we just ask that you take some time to come down to discuss and listen so that we can all find ways. See, we have a problem with trying to deal with symptoms as opposed to the root cause. So we try to find drugs to deal with the symptoms of colds instead of healing the cold to begin with. And we all know that doesn't work out too well. We want to deal with the reason that Zuccotti Park exists, the reason that Liberty Park exists, the reason that people are here and don't intend to leave, whether it's raining, whether it's snowing, when it's sleeting. In the rain, in the sleet, occupy Wall Street. So I want to thank everybody for coming. Thank you everyone for coming out.
Thank you guys.